When people talk about wasted careers in football, Gerry Armstrong often comes to mind. A player who seemed destined for disappointment, bouncing between clubs and never quite finding his place. But that story couldn't be further from the truth. Armstrong's journey is actually one of the most inspiring tales of resilience and determination in football history. Most football fans remember Armstrong for one magical moment. On the 25th of June 1982, at the Estadio Luis Casanova in Valencia, he scored what would become known as the most famous goal in Northern Ireland's history. With just 2 minutes into the second half against World Cup hosts Spain, Armstrong intercepted the ball in his own half, drove forward and passed to Billy Hamilton. When the Spanish goalkeeper Luis Arconada parried Hamilton's cross, the ball fell perfectly to Armstrong, who smashed it home with his right foot. The silence was so eerie that Armstrong initially thought the goal had been disallowed. Only when he saw his teammates celebrating did he realise he had just knocked the hosts out of their own World Cup. But Armstrong's story begins much earlier in the tough world of Gaelic sports. He didn't even start playing football until he was 17 years old. Before that, he was immersed in Gaelic football and hurling, sports he described as incredibly tough that taught him confrontation and physicality. These formative years on the Gaelic fields gave him strength and pace, creating what he would later call a rough diamond approach to the game. His very first game for Bangor saw him sent off for hitting the centre half, setting the tone for a career built on tenacity and determination. This physical style made Armstrong a valuable utility player, but it also created problems. When he moved to Tottenham Hotspur in November 1975 at age 21, managers saw his natural physicality as the solution to their defensive shortages. He was frequently played as a right-back and centre-half, positions he openly admitted he didn't enjoy, saying there was no glory playing there. During his 5 seasons at Spurs, he made 65 league appearances plus 19 as a substitute, scoring 10 goals. But he was frustrated, always preferring to play as a centre-forward where he felt he belonged. The turning point came in November 1980 when Tottenham signed striker Steve Archibald. Armstrong correctly saw this as a sign that either he or fellow forward Chris Jones would be pushed out. Rather than accept a diminished role, he made a bold decision that would change everything. He left the top flight to join Watford in the second division, a move many called career suicide. But Armstrong called it a no-brainer because manager Graham Taylor promised to play him consistently as a centre-forward. What happened next shows how the right manager can unlock a player's potential. Taylor's competitive and demanding training regime pushed Armstrong to become fitter than he had ever been. This wasn't just about physical conditioning, but about finding the right environment where his talents could flourish. The relationship between player and coach became perfectly balanced, with Taylor's clear vision providing the platform for Armstrong's best performances. If you're enjoying learning about how the right opportunity can transform a career, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what moment in Armstrong's story surprised you the most so far. The results were immediate and spectacular. From late 1980 to summer 1982, Armstrong was in the form of his life for both club and country. He played a crucial role in Watford's historic journey, helping them achieve their first ever promotion to the top flight in 1982. But they didn't stop there. The following season, Watford finished an astonishing second in the First Division, a remarkable achievement that showed what could happen when a player found their perfect role. This club's success directly contributed to his international breakthrough. Armstrong was flying for both Watford and Northern Ireland, building the confidence and match fitness that would prove crucial on football's biggest stage. His World Cup goal wasn't just a moment of individual brilliance, but the culmination of 2 years of consistent performance and growing belief. The goal itself transcended football. Coming during the Troubles, a period of intense civil unrest in Northern Ireland, Armstrong's strike provided a much-needed lift for a divided population. The victory bonded the country together, uniting people from different communities in shared celebration. This unifying effect was symbolically recognised when Armstrong's team received congratulatory telegrams from both Reverend Ian Paisley and Irish Prime Minister Charles Haughey, representing both sides of the political divide. Just months after his World Cup heroics, Armstrong faced his biggest test of resilience. He suffered a broken tibia and fibula while jumping for a ball during a Watford match. Initially fearing he would be sidelined for 4 to 5 months, his recovery proved quicker than expected, taking only 2.5 months. However, the mental challenge extended beyond the initial recovery, as it took him 10 to 12 weeks to get back to full fitness and regain his confidence after having his leg in a cast. This injury, occurring at age 29 and at the peak of his career, marked a pivotal moment. While he showed great resilience in returning to score Watford's first ever top-flight goal, the incident highlighted how fragile a footballer's career could be. It likely influenced his next bold decision to move abroad. In summer 1983, Armstrong became a trailblazer by moving to Spanish club Real Mallorca. The financial offer was 2.5 times what he was earning at Watford, but the move represented much more than money. While Spanish football was known for its technical, possession-based style, Armstrong was brought in for his Premier League approach, characterised by guts and determination. Initially, his reception was cold. He wasn't popular on the Spanish mainland following his World Cup goal that had knocked the hosts out of their own tournament. However, his determined and physical playing style eventually won over the local fans, who appreciated the different dimension he brought to the team. This successful integration of a British-style player into the more technical Spanish league demonstrated that quality performance and character could transcend tactical differences and cultural barriers. After retiring from professional play, Armstrong embarked on another successful career transformation. Following a recommendation from fellow Northern Irish legend George Best, he established himself as a respected expert on Spanish football. For more than 2 decades, he served as a La Liga analyst and co-commentator for Sky Sports, covering hundreds of matches with particular focus on Barcelona and Real Madrid. As a pundit, Armstrong's commentary became an extension of his playing philosophy. He developed a reputation as a vocal and consistent critic of simulation or diving, which he considered a form of cheating. His firm stance on this issue was deeply rooted in his background in tough Gaelic sports and the physical, competitive nature of 1980s English football. For him, modern diving was fundamentally not in the concept of the rules of the game he knew and loved, undermining the honour in winning 11 versus 11. This principled stance, maintained for over 15 years, became a core component of his public identity. It demonstrated that his views weren't casual opinions, but deeply held beliefs shaped by a lifetime in sport. His media career proved that the same determination and authenticity that defined his playing days could create success in an entirely different field. Armstrong's complete story reveals a player who was never a prolific goalscorer, admitting he was never a 15 to 20 goals a season man. Instead, his value came as a tenacious target man who created opportunities for others. This tactical intelligence, combined with raw athleticism from his Gaelic sporting background and discipline instilled by Graham Taylor, created a complete, if unconventional, forward. His legacy isn't defined by a long list of trophies or a single club career, but by pivotal, defining moments and willingness to adapt. He was a journeyman who made significant impact at every stop, from his gritty tenure at Spurs to his historic promotion with Watford and his pioneering move to La Liga. His iconic World Cup goal stands as powerful testament to the game's capacity for national unity. The breadth of Armstrong's influence extended beyond just his playing achievements. His move to Spain opened doors for countless British players who followed in his footsteps. By proving that British players could adapt to different styles and cultures, he helped break down barriers that had previously limited player movement between leagues. Modern stars moving freely between countries owe something to pioneers like Armstrong, who showed it could be done successfully. His coaching work also demonstrated another facet of his football intelligence. Though less publicised than his media career, Armstrong's involvement in developing young players showed his commitment to giving back to the sport that had given him so much. He understood that his experiences, from Gaelic fields to World Cup stadiums, contained lessons that could benefit the next generation. Armstrong's story demonstrates that a career in football can be measured in more than just silverware. Making a lasting impact can be achieved through a combination of timely heroism professional integrity, and willingness to embrace new challenges. His journey from rough diamond to World Cup hero to respected pundit shows that success comes in many forms. Far from being a wasted career, Gerry Armstrong's story is one of remarkable achievement built on character, resilience, and authentic love for the sport. His willingness to take risks, whether dropping down a division to find the right role or moving abroad as a pioneer, created opportunities that lesser players might have missed. Subscribe for more inspiring football stories and let me know in the comments what you think defines a successful career in football. Is it trophies, memorable moments, or something else entirely? Armstrong's journey suggests it might be all about staying true to yourself while never giving up on your dreams.